I want to share how I came to the conclusion that my girlfriend is a psychopath and realized I needed to break up with her for my own well-being. My name is Jeremy and I'm 30 years old. Over 3 years ago, I began a relationship with Maddie, who is 32 years old, who I believe was the love of my life. Little did I know that the love I thought was pure and genuine would turn into a nightmare that left me questioning her true nature. We met through a mutual friend. Maddie was my perfect dream girl. I was immediately attracted to her, and she did and said all the right things to make me fall for her instantly. We moved in together, but after 1 year, our relationship took a dark turn when I found out she was cheating on me. I was devastated, but I allowed myself to be swayed by my forgiving nature, thinking everyone deserves a second chance. Sadly, this only marked the beginning of an ongoing pattern of hurt and deceit. Time and again, I stumbled upon evidence of Maddie cheating with different people, and each time I confronted her, she didn't show an ounce of remorse. It was as if she had an emotional detachment from the pain she was causing me. Her lack of empathy and guilt disturbed me deeply. But every time I confronted her, she was brutally honest about her infidelity. I somehow convinced myself that she couldn't possibly be that bad. After all, she wasn't trying to hide it from me. I don't know what it is about her, but she would always just say the exact right things to make me forgive her and continue on with our relationship. This cycle persisted for the next 2 years of her cheating and me forgiving her. Every confrontation ended with me feeling powerless and defeated. But 2 days ago, something shifted within me. I caught her again after I went through her phone, where I found a newly created dating profile and explicit messages with other men. I confronted her for what felt like the millionth time. "Why are you doing this to me? Don't you love me? I do so much for you. I cook, clean, pay your bills, support you, everything. What else can I possibly do? Just please tell me, why?" I asked, desperate for an explanation, hoping to see some sign of remorse in her eyes. She barely reacted and just looked back at me with cold, emotionless eyes and replied, "Because I know that you won't do anything about it." Her words sent shivers down my spine. It was as if she derived pleasure from my pain and felt invincible, knowing she could hurt me repeatedly without any consequences. At that moment, a thought crossed my mind. Could she possibly actually be a psychopath? Her lack of empathy, manipulative behavior, and absence of remorse seemed to align disturbingly with the traits I had read about. I couldn't shake off the feeling that I was entangled with someone who didn't experience emotions the way most people do. The realization hit me hard, leaving me feeling terrified and vulnerable. Had I been involved with a psychopath all this time? This was the first time I felt any urgency of escaping this toxic relationship for my own safety and well-being. I told Maddie I was breaking up with her for good this time. She reacted as she usually does, acting remorseful and promising that she will change. I packed a bag with essentials and left to stay at my parents' place. As I was leaving, she said, "Fine, leave. I don't care. You'll be back in a week anyway." I didn't go back to her. I waited until she was at work one day, and I went back to collect the rest of my things, and I left the spare key on the counter. I know when she finished work because I received some really abusive messages from her. Things I'd never thought she'd be capable of saying. It's like her whole personality just flipped. She was saying how she'd come to my job and get me fired and make my life a living hell, and even insinuated that she might hurt people in my life. I've blocked her on all social media and gone no contact and let all our mutual friends know what's happened and why I broke up with Maddie. Since ending the relationship, I've been reflecting on the patterns of manipulation and emotional abuse that I had become entangled in. It's been a challenging journey to reclaim my sense of self and heal from the trauma of being involved with someone who may lack the capacity for genuine emotions and remorse. To all those reading this, I want to stress the importance of recognizing toxic relationships and protecting yourself from emotional harm. If you ever find yourself in a situation where someone exhibits psychopathic traits, don't underestimate the potential danger it poses to your mental and emotional well-being. It took me years to realize I was in an abusive relationship, and it took a toll on my self-image and self-esteem. I'm taking this time to focus on healing and moving on. It won't be easy, but I refuse to let this experience define me. I know that I deserve a healthy, loving relationship that is built on trust, empathy, and respect. Thank you for hearing me out. If any of you have experienced something similar or have advice on coping with the aftermath of a toxic relationship, I would be grateful to hear your insights.